Hey, what's poppin', YouTubers? What's going on? Got some sad news this morning. Rest in peace to Carlos Norris, aka Chuck Norris. I just found out that he passed away, and of course, I shed some tears. I mean, who didn't love Chuck Norris, man? I mean, he helped started and founded his own martial arts. Comes from Korean humble backgrounds when it comes to the arts, because he went over, when he was in the Air Force, he went over and started studying Taekwondo, which is like a Korean, it's like a mix between Taekwondo and their version of like a Kung Fu. It's actually older than Taekwondo. Taekwondo became more popular in Korea. It's actually considered called the way of the foot for sport. You know what I mean? And, but he took up Taekwondo, and he actually invented his own system through kickboxing and other stuff, because, he also fought on the circuit along with Benny the Jet Yaquides and Bill Superfoot Wallace. Chuck Norris was not only famous, he was famous in and outside the ring. And just like Bill Superfoot Wallace and Benny the Jet Yaquides, Chuck Norris was the real deal. He fought in the ring, full contact, as well as point system, and being in tons of movies. I'm only bringing all that up because I am a huge fan of Chuck. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that I would have loved to meet in real life that I never have, and Chuck is one of them. I just feel so bad for Chuck. I mean, well, for his family, because, come on, man, he's Chuck Norris. Normally, like, when you hear those death things, I kind of leave it alone, because I just think that so many people put up all that fake nonsense, but it was actually confirmed from family. But, Chuck was up there, man. Dude was 86 years old. He lived, I'm pretty sure he lived a good life. He lived on a farm. I think he ate organic. He has his own land. He was a gentleman. He was a man's man. He never heard no scandal or no malicious nonsense from Chuck, or, nothing surrounding him and out and all around tabloids. I'm hoping, and I'm pretty sure that, Bruce was right there with him, and telling him, come on, but 80 something years old, it's a good life. Big props to Clint Eastwood, because my man Clint, he's still kicking strong in his 90s, man. You gotta give Clint his props, man. I always like Clint Eastwood. Some people say that, oh, he was a racist like John Wayne, yada yada yada. I mean, John Wayne was an open racist, and I never liked his movies anyway, but not because he's a racist. I mean, just because I just never liked John Wayne's attitude on film. I don't like the way he walked, I don't like the way he talked, and I always thought his movies was crap. You know what I mean? Even that one movie that the movie where he was like a Green Beret or something like that, but I always thought his movies was like kind of dry. And again, it's not because he's a racist. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I respect people that are racist and straightforward and come out with their hypocrisy, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, I feel like everybody's entitled to. I mean, I don't think it's right, but everybody's entitled to feeling whatever way they feel, and liking or disliking anybody for color, creed, or sexual preference, or whatever. I mean, that's what makes us a democracy and what makes us human. You don't have to. You could dislike, but there's a difference between not liking groups of people and different people, and not respecting a person as a human being. Because I believe everybody deserves respect, regardless of how you feel about them or their race or their whatever. As long as they don't disrespect you or come out of pocket, I don't think it should matter how or what they look like or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, getting back to the whole Chuck thing, man. I always loved Chuck. I mean, come on, man. I mean, I grew up on this dude, man. I grew up watching this guy. I mean, he's got me by about 20-something years. But he was It was dope. I mean, I grew up in the martial arts scene. That's how I know these guys. I've been to some Madison Square Garden fights in the mid to late 70s. You know, I remember that stuff. You know, that stuff was really big. You know, Bill was a bad boy, man, and you know he stopped competing after his car accident. You know what I'm saying? But you know, like him, like Benny the Jet, I always thought he was underrated because he's a real fighter. Benny the Jet is the real deal. But I think what held him back was his stature, his build, and his look. He didn't have that Hollywood look or charisma. And again, I guess he looked too Hispanically ethnic for Hollywood. But he was a badass dude. I mean, you know, he was in a couple of low-budget martial art films like Martial Law and stuff like that. And you know, Jackie Chan. You know, he had Bill Superfoot Wallace in a movie. He also had Benny the Jet Yaquitas in the movie. And you know, the reason I'm bringing these guys up because these guys were very familiar with Chuck Norris, close friends with Chuck. I mean, Chuck had a very huge portfolio, and Chuck Norris did a lot of stuff on the scene for martial artists, along with you know, not just in movies, but even outside that realm, like, you know, still martial art connected. I mean, Chuck was the man, you know. I really feel for his wife and his kids, because you know, Chuck was just Chuck, man. Chuck, I love you, man. Never met you, but sometimes you can love a person and admire them from afar without knowing that much about them. But you know, sometimes some people's characters ring bigger than life itself just by how they carry themselves. And sometimes you can read somebody's aura and have a good rapport with them without even meeting them. Just, you know, like their spirit and everything, just, how you say, it connects with you. And, you know, I would have loved to see if he would have caught more years, but 86 is a really, really long, fruitful life. Unfortunately, not enough for his family, friends, loved ones. So my condolences go out to the Norris family. And, you know, for Carlos, man, you know, Godspeed. I always say Godspeed, even though I'm not a religious person. That may sound contradictory, but you have to understand what I mean by it when I say it. I'm not going to dwell much on that, but, you know, my condolences go out to the Norris family, man. And Chuck, you know, love you, brother. Sleep in peace, fam.